were at that game just now. Look, the Fever have been on a tear. They've won 2 in a row, a 25-point blowout of the Lynx in the Commissioner's Cup final, and then 27 against the Aces in this one. And both of those games without Caitlin Clark. How is Indiana getting this done right now?
Look, I think that Indiana is even more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play because she's a ball-dominant guard. The ball's in her hands a lot, so you know what you need to try to take away.
Caitlin Clark has sparked heated debates across social media and the basketball community. Former WNBA coach Carolyn Peck has made headlines with her bold claim that the Indiana Fever is actually more dangerous without their rookie sensation, Caitlin Clark. The comment has sent shockwaves through the basketball world, with fans calling it everything from strategic analysis to outright disrespect. Tonight, we'll break down the controversy, examine the numbers, and explore what this means for the Fever's championship aspirations.
Y'all smell that? Y'all smell that? I smell the hate coming from a mile away. We saw it coming. We saw it coming, y'all. I see the hate. I smell it. You smell like...
Let's start with the statement that's got everyone talking. Following Indiana's dominant back-to-back victories, a 15-point Commissioner's Cup win over Minnesota, and a crushing 27-point victory against the Las Vegas Aces, former WNBA coach Carolyn Peck appeared on ESPN with an analysis that caught everyone off guard. Peck, who made history as the first head coach general manager of the Orlando Miracle, didn't mince words. She stated that Indiana is even more dangerous when Clark doesn't play, citing the rookie's ball-dominant style as a limiting factor. Look, I think that Indiana is even more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play, because she's a ball-dominant guard. The ball's in her hands a lot, so you know what you need to try to take away, Peck explained.
You were at that game just now. Look, the Fever have been on a tear. They've won 2 in a row, a 25-point blowout of the Lynx in the Commissioner's Cup final, and then 27 against the Aces in this one. And both of those games without Caitlin Clark. How is Indiana getting this done right now?
Look, I think that Indiana is even more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play because she's a ball-dominant guard. The ball's in her hands a lot, so you know what you need to try to take away. But when you look at Indiana now, they've got so many weapons. And Kelsey Mitchell is playing out of her mind. Aaliyah Boston. I talked to Stephanie White before the game. She said in year 1, Aaliyah Boston was back to the basket. Year 2, two-man game. Year 3, they're using her as a decision maker. And so when you have a point guard like Kelsey Mitchell and Ari McDonald, making plays on the perimeter and a post like Aaliyah Boston, I'm going to tell you, Indiana, they are a threat, and specifically on the defensive end. Stephanie is so pleased with the intensity that they're bringing defensively with their length, their switches. I mean, they've wreaked havoc on their last 2 opponents.
The timing of this statement is particularly striking. Clark has been sidelined with a left groin injury, missing her 5th consecutive game and 10th game of the season. Yet during her absence, the Fever have posted an impressive 4-1 record in their current stretch, including victories over some of the league's top teams. But Peck's analysis went deeper than just ball distribution. She praised the emergence of other players, specifically highlighting Kelsey Mitchell's explosive scoring and Aaliyah Boston's evolution as a decision-maker. Now let's examine the statistical reality behind Peck's controversial claim. The numbers paint a fascinating picture of a team that's found a different identity without their star player.
Fever, no! Also, would you guys look at this cute little denim set for Ozzy? In case you guys want to see him in it. Is that not so cute? Yes, let's stand a dove column! Big dove!
In their recent victory over Las Vegas, Kelsey Mitchell erupted for 25 points while Aaliyah Boston contributed 20 points and 7 rebounds. The Fever didn't just win, they dominated, leading wire-to-wire in an 81-54 blowout. But here's where it gets really interesting. Indiana accomplished something that hadn't been done since 2003. They held both Minnesota and Las Vegas under 60 points in consecutive games. Their defense has been suffocating, forcing 19 turnovers against the Aces while limiting them to just 26.2% shooting. Peck specifically praised this defensive transformation, noting the team's length, switching ability, and intensity. They've wreaked havoc on their last 2 opponents, she observed.
Look, I think that Indiana is even more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play because she's a ball dominant guard. The ball's in her hands a lot. So you know what you need to try to take away. But when you look at Indiana now, they've got so many weapons. And Kelsey Mitchell is playing out of her mind.
The tactical changes are evident. According to Peck's conversation with coach Stephanie White, Aaliyah Boston's development has been methodical, from a back-to-basket player in year 1 to mastering the two-man game in year 2 to now being used as a primary decision-maker in year 3. This evolution has created what Peck calls so many weapons, with Mitchell and Ari McDonald making plays on the perimeter while Boston orchestrates from the post. Let's go.
We talked about, we just made sure that our energy was high, made sure that we were focused, because obviously we know Vegas is a great team and they're a team full of winners. And so for us, it's making sure that we turn the page off of a great Commissioner's Cup success. And then we have to be ready for Vegas. And we were.
McDonald back on the attack, lays it in. Nice. Mitchell, beautiful pass. 2 more for Boston. Oh, catch and shoot. Connects. Here's Mitchell left wide open, and Mitchell catches in with a three. McDonald turns the corner and gets.
The basketball world's reaction to Peck's comments has been swift and divided. Social media exploded with passionate responses from Caitlin Clark supporters who view the analysis as disrespectful to the reigning Rookie of the Year. Twitter users have been particularly vocal, with many using phrases like "the hating is real" to describe what they see as unfair criticism of Clark. Fans argue that suggesting a team is better without their best player diminishes Clark's remarkable achievements and contributions. Clark supporters point to her impressive averages this season: 18.2 points, 8.9 assists, and 5 rebounds in just 9 games. They argue that her ball-dominant style is precisely what makes her effective, not a limitation.
In this video, both involving Caitlin Clark, we got ESPN once again, making complete idiots out of themselves when it comes to Caitlin Clark. There is no other media entity that hates them some Caitlin Clark like ESPN. Should not be surprising when you have followed their history for the last decade. And I'm talking about ESPN. That's exactly why, by the way, their ratings have steadily declined for the last decade. Is clown show takes like you got after the Fever defeated the Aces without.
However, basketball analysts have defended Peck's position, noting that her comments weren't meant to diminish Clark's talent, but rather to highlight the team's depth and adaptability. They argue that the ability to succeed without a star player is actually a sign of organizational strength. The debate has also sparked broader discussions about ball-dominant versus team-oriented playing styles in the modern WNBA. Some analysts suggest that Clark's eventual return could create the perfect balance, combining her individual brilliance with the team chemistry that's developed in her absence.
Where, oh, the Indiana Fever, they're better without Caitlin Clark. Oh no, Ari McDonald is better than Caitlin Clark. Oh no, Stephanie White's the best coach in the league. She just didn't need Caitlin Clark. Man, get up out of here. I see what y'all doing. The funny thing is, we knew y'all was going to do this. We knew y'all was going to do this. Saying the Indiana Fever are better without Caitlin Clark is a flat-out joke, and you're just a flat-out hater. You're just a flat-out hater. Where's the red nose? Put it on because you're a clown. Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it. Caitlin Clark is probably the second best, if not the best player.
Speaking of Clark's return, the superstar remains sidelined for tonight's crucial matchup against the Los Angeles Sparks at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The 7 p.m. Eastern tip-off will mark Clark's 5th consecutive missed game due to her persistent groin injury. Coach Stephanie White had previously described Clark's injury as very much a day-to-day thing, but the team is clearly taking a cautious approach with their franchise player. Las Vegas Aces.
No updates outside of she's out tonight. So just continuing to work and get her progress and make sure there's no setbacks.
With the start-stop nature of you guys this season to this point, having 5 in a row at home right here, what kind of opportunity do you view that as for the rest of your year?
I mean, I think it's a great opportunity for us. Sleep in your own beds for a while, play some games at home, in our home arena with this crowd. It is a great opportunity, but you also can't take the opportunity that you're playing at home for granted, right? We still got to come with that energy, that effort, that high attention to detail.
Meanwhile, the Sparks will be without their own key player, as Cameron Brink remains sidelined. However, reports suggest Brink is progressing well and closing in on a return. Tonight's game presents another opportunity for the Fever to prove Peck's point. Can they continue their dominant run without Clark against a struggling Sparks team that's dealing with their own roster depth issues? Los Angeles is coming off a tough 89-79 loss to the New York Liberty, despite a strong 25.9 rebound performance from Derica Hanby. The Sparks' recent struggles could provide the perfect testing ground for Indiana's Clarkless lineup.
We got a Caitlin Clark health update. And I think if you're hoping to see her play tomorrow, it's probably not going to happen, I don't think. So this is Tony East. He covers the Pacers and Fever. He's a good follow on X, but Stephanie White did talk about Caitlin Clark's injury.
Patient that you might be available tomorrow.
Well, we went through semi-live shooting drills. I mean, it wasn't really live; it was semi-live shooting drills. Still hasn't gone full speed in a practice or a live defensive group, but she's been getting some 3-on-3 work, on her own. So, I think the biggest thing is, she's stated she's not a fan of minutes restrictions. If there's going to be a minutes restriction, maybe we'll hold her another game. But it's evaluating her again in the morning, seeing what she's done with, however many days there have been of more loading, and make a decision from there. But again, I prioritize the long term, her long-term health and wellness, and making sure that when she comes back, she's 100%.
This controversy comes at a fascinating time as the WNBA All-Star Game approaches later this month. Clark, despite missing significant time, still topped fan voting and will captain Team Clark against Nafisa Collier's squad. In an interesting twist, Clark will be coached by Minnesota's Cheryl Reeve, the same coach who faced criticism for Clark's limited role during the 2024 Paris Olympics. This pairing has already generated its own controversy, with fans questioning how the two will work together. But perhaps the most intriguing storyline is what happens when Clark returns. Will the Fever maintain the defensive intensity and ball movement that's made them successful, or will they revert to a more Clark-centric approach? New identity.
With Caitlin and her status, just how did she look? How did she feel today during shoot-around? And is she making progress and getting closer playing?
She's making progress. I think, again, top of mind, I think I told you this afternoon, is just long-term. Making sure that we don't have any setbacks. Making progress and feeling good are two different things. And we want to make sure that she feels good. We want to make sure that she's confident. We want to make sure that we're not putting her in a position to have any setbacks. And that's the...
Some basketball minds suggest the ideal scenario would be incorporating Clark's playmaking ability with the improved team chemistry that's developed in her absence. This could create a more balanced attack that's harder for opponents to game plan against. The timing of Clark's return is also crucial. With the playoffs approaching, the Fever need to find the right balance between integrating their star player and maintaining the momentum they've built. Coach White's recent technical foul incident, where Clark reportedly offered to pay the fine, shows the team's growing unity and rebellious spirit, even with their star on the sideline.
Okay, let's get into this. The Indiana Fever have beaten the Minnesota Lynx and the Las Vegas Aces back-to-back games. Nafisa Collier got her up out of here. Asia Wilson got her up out of here. We stepped up defensively. Is this Indiana Fever team improving? Yes. Is this Indiana team better than they are with Caitlin Clark? No. This Fever team is better than the last Fever team was without Caitlin Clark. That's all that is. This team is not as bad as they were before without Caitlin Clark. There's a difference.
Beyond the immediate controversy, Peck's comments raise important questions about star player dependency in professional sports. Is it better to have a system that maximizes one player's talents, or one that spreads responsibility across multiple contributors? History shows us that championship teams often need both, a superstar who can take over in crucial moments and a supporting cast that can step up when needed. The Fever's success without Clark suggests they're building exactly that kind of depth. This situation also highlights the unique challenges young stars face in professional sports. Clark's ball-dominant style helped her dominate at Iowa and earn WNBA Rookie of the Year honors. But adapting to a more team-oriented approach might be the key to championship success.
On this is that I have to wonder, did this team bring her back too soon from the quad injury that then turned into this groin situation? All right, and they're not looking to mismanage that. I had a feeling she was not going to play. By the way, Caitlin Clark, some threes in practice right here. So she's trying to get her shot from 3-point range, and good God, she just knocked down 3 in a row like it was nothing. So she's getting ready to come back. They're going to reevaluate.
The controversy has also sparked discussions about media coverage and analysis of women's basketball. Are analysts being too critical of Clark, or are they simply providing honest, tactical assessments? Whether you agree with Carolyn Peck's assessment or not, there's no denying that her comments have sparked one of the most passionate debates in recent WNBA history. The Indiana Fever's success without their superstar has proven they're more than a one-player team, but the real test will come when Clark returns. Tonight's game against the Sparks will provide another data point in this ongoing discussion. Can the Fever continue their dominant run, or will they finally show the limitations of playing without their franchise player? The truth is, great teams often become greater when they learn to succeed in adversity. If the Fever can maintain their current level of play while integrating Clark back into the lineup, they might just prove that the best teams are those that are dangerous, with or without their stars. We'll continue following this story as it develops. Thank you for joining us on WNBA Central.
Caitlin Clark sneakers just sold out 10 damn minutes. Caitlin Clark shoes sold out within 10 damn minutes.
These shoes sold out so fast. I don't know how many they made. It says they sold out in minutes.
Nike releases her own signature shoe. This is the Caitlin Clark effect.
I mean, Caitlin Clark is just, she's changing women's sports and women's basketball.
So Caitlin Clark signature PE Kobe.
Caitlin Clark just delivered a devastating blow to the entire league establishment, and Aja Wilson's reaction will leave you speechless. This isn't just about basketball anymore. This is about power, jealousy, and a controversy that's about to explode across sports media. If you're not ready for the truth about what's really happening behind the scenes in women's basketball, click away now, because what I'm about to reveal will change how you see the WNBA forever.
9 from the floor and is not taking a free throw attempt. There's her second field goal.
She looks up into the sky.
High percentage shooter. Here she is out on Caitlin, who shoots over her and hits a 3. You saw her do it over Brianna Stewart.
Let's start with what happened Tuesday night that sent shockwaves through the WNBA. The Indiana Fever just won their first ever Commissioner's Cup, defeating the Minnesota Lynx without their injured superstar Caitlin Clark on the court. But here's where it gets explosive. During the post-game celebration, Caitlin Clark dropped a bombshell that has league executives screaming. On Instagram Live, surrounded by champagne and her victorious teammates, Clark looked straight into the camera and said something that will make Commissioner Cathy Engelbert's blood boil. You get more money for this than you do if you're the WNBA Finals champion. It makes no sense. Someone tell Cathy Engelbert to help us out.
Caitlin Clark sneakers just sold out 10 damn minutes.
It opened at 10 a.m. Eastern time and closed within a few minutes. From there, it was a drawing.
Yesterday sold out her shoe in 10 minutes, according to reports.
These are going for nothing in comparison to what Caitlin.
Did you hear that? The league's biggest star just called out the commissioner BY name on live television. Clark even mockingly referred to the tournament as the Cathy Cup. This wasn't just criticism. This was a declaration of war. Here's what's really happening. Commissioner's Cup winners get up to $30,000, 0 cents each, while WNBA Finals champions only get $20,825, 0 cents. Clark just exposed the league's backwards priorities to millions of fans. But that's not even the most shocking part.